want to realize, and then we want to relish it in our lives, because that's what happiness is about. So the acronym is RRR, a super hit movie, RRR, right? So I just took that title so that this presentation can also become a super hit, and you remember it for a long time, and you take something out of this presentation into your lives. So Lalitarpan Mataji, how much time do we have? Accordingly, I'll pace myself.
Yeah. So we can go on till 8:30, 8:30, 8:40, 8:45. So we have 45 minutes. Yeah.
Sure. And as we said, we'll keep without much ado. Let's jump into the first section, which is recognize. And how can I? Okay, you're controlling it out there. Awesome. So stay here. So idea is to really, understand what happiness is. Recognize this as a concept. And I wanted to hear from some of you, when we say happiness, what comes to your mind? What is happiness?
Anything which gives peace.
Peace. Very good.
Life satisfaction.
Life satisfaction. Very elevated thought. Very nice. So we want to be peaceful, we want to be satisfied, in turn we feel happy. Anything else?
Being healthy.
Being healthy. Very nice. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So not just within ourselves, you can also see what's going around the world, right? And if you look at the bigger horizon, right, we see some people are happy or they feel happy. Some people are not so happy, not so privileged. So the way I see it, what I see around me, all this while that I have been, consciously living and viewing the stuff, I see a lot of us have this misconception about happiness. We kind of relate it to a lot of sensations, external feelings, it's kind of a facade, because we sometimes feel that we are happy, but we may not be happy. And that's what we want to deep dive into. So happiness can be really in two categories. And can you click one more time, please? So as we see around in our lives, you said food or health. So when we eat some good food, do we feel happy? Of course. If we are healthy, that makes us feel happy. Relationships, if our relationships are healthy, that also makes us feel happy, right? Otherwise we are very lonely, dissatisfied. So this definitely helps. I have seen around my circle in social, if people are partying, dancing, today's Friday, TGIF, hangouts, people feel happy, right? Somebody surrounded by moolah, right? Happy. Just by seeing people feel happy. See, I can see the smile on people's face, so definitely we'll get there one day. And those who are very successful, who are very famous personalities, also bring happiness to us, because we work very hard, and then when people recognize us and we get success in our lives, we feel very happy. By so many sufferings, not sometimes we are suffering, we are seeing others suffering, right, in the world. And there are three types of sufferings, three sources of suffering that we typically get. We can get sufferings from other jiva or other person, through relationship, through whatever, right? Sometimes the gods, right, who are given a particular responsibility, like sun god has been given the responsibility to give us light, right? Rains, water god. There are so many resources that we use from God, right? So these are all coming from somewhere, right? Sometimes they give us unhappiness or sufferings, floods, droughts. Dallas has been so hot, every year the temperature is going a notch up, brings some kind of a discomfort. So I am important, right? What is my happiness? If I'm trying to find out, I also have to find out who am I? What is my nature? Those three combinations that we just discussed, goodness, ignorance, passion. What is my mix? Am I 30, 40, or what is my mix, right? What is my nature? And we see all those people around us. We can think how somebody is behaving and doing, and so we can relate to it. So now everybody should question in this life, This is an opportunity in front of us. Who am I or who are we? Where are we at present? Yesterday you were somewhere else, doing something else. Today you are here, doing something. Tomorrow, I hope all of you go to great places and do great things, but we don't know what it is, right? So what is this? What is happening around us? Who is controlling all this, right? And what is our goal? Eventually, what do we want? We don't want to live in the syndrome of x equal to x plus 1. I came to this country to make $1 million, and now that I have $1 million, I want it from the right source, from the right person. Once I get that kind of a knowledge, like we are discussing the topic of happiness, and just now we saw happiness probably is not what sometimes we perceive. We, not just you, me, but everybody else, right? Because it could be, it could be a facade, it could not be real, right? So we need ability, we need knowledge to be able to distinguish and decipher. And once we meditate on that knowledge, we have to realize it. It has to get absorbed in us. Because today I understand and learn something. In our class, we learn trigonometry, we learn computer science, we learn so many topics. Do we still remember it? Probably not, because we are learning new things every day, right? And whatever is relevant with respect to time, we are keeping stick with that. But there are certain things that I have to absorb and keep it in myself all the time, so that when life throws situations at me, I can use that knowledge to decide what am I supposed to do. Right? If I lose that knowledge, today I am able to take a good decision. 10 years down the line, I again took a bad decision because I lose that knowledge, so that's not good. So there has to be a bona fide source of knowledge that stays permanently with me, which I can practice over again and again, and do the right action and conduct myself in the right way things, right? Somebody is giving us sunlight, wind, water, very essential for our life. Who is the proprietor? Where are we getting all those things? So just wanted to introduce, without going too much into the detail, and it also answers some of the questions that we were asking on the previous slide, who we are and what is this place. So we are not this body, because who knows where is Steve Jobs today, right? And who knows where we will be after 100 years or 50 years or whatever this time we live. So what we are is a soul. That entity remains constant. That entity remains constant. And we are so because we are a soul, we must have come from somewhere, right? Like in this body, we have come from our parents, right? So as a soul, our father is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is Lord Krishna, and he is his friend and devotee Arjuna, and he is trying to impart knowledge to him. But that's one context. We're not going deep over there. The bigger point is, we cannot enjoy separately from him. If I am connected to my parents and I tell my parents, this is my life, I don't care about you, I don't want to enjoy with you, not right. And I can think like that, and I can do it for 5 minutes, 5 months, 5 years. Somewhere down the line I'll feel I'm doing wrong, and that will result into something what we saw earlier. We are leaning against the wrong wall, and we realize it when we reach at the top. So why not, get ourselves corrected at a very bottom, at the right pace, right? Which is this age. So we cannot enjoy separately from him. It's impossible. We can try, but we will fail down the line. And we don't have to, or we should not even try to enjoy without him, because at every step we need help. At every step we need help. And who will help you? The Supreme Father will help you. Because he loves us. That is the relationship that we have with him. And he wants to spend time with us. He wants us to, get out of this material world, which is full of suffering, and be at a place where you can be, worry less. You can just engage your senses, like Mataji was saying, chanting, and just be happy. Why do you have to worry and work so hard? You don't have to, deal with any hard. A small kid, Prabhuji, Mataji, they're coming all the way. I mean, it is giving them some kind of a spiritual happiness, which is going to stay with them for a longer time, and we can take motivation from it. So that's what it is. It gives joy, and it purifies us. There's a lot of things going on in our mind. I heard somewhere, the busiest street in New York and the state of our mind, this traffic is 100 times worse than the traffic on the New York street. There's so much going on, so many thoughts going on in our mind. Sometimes we get very confused. And what we do and out of it, we sleep. It's reset, we power off ourselves, and then we get up tomorrow morning again, and again we go through the same cycle. We impurify ourselves. So this kind of happiness actually simplifies your life or purifies you as an individual, so that you can take the right decision and you are able to experience true happiness. This is also a point that it is a ticket for us to go back to our Godhead, to our Supreme Original Father, because this place is very, there are problems we see around it, right? And we are all surrounded by it, and we also will experience this. So we want to be out of this as soon as possible, and this is more spiritual, this point. So that's why I'm not talking about this in detail. But if we doing the right set of things, if we are feeling the spiritual happiness, it is our ticket to connect to the God and go back to Him and be eternally happy. Very important point. We discussed previously that if we are doing the right set of things, that does not mean we will not face problems in our life. We will still feel them. What does spiritual happiness does? It helps you tolerate and it helps you forgive, because you're doing it selflessly. And when you do that, so somebody did something bad to you, let's say, and now you want to take a revenge. Okay, you take the revenge and you're able to successfully do it, but you wasted your time double. Once in tolerating what he was doing to me, and second by giving back to him, right? So I'm losing time. But if I'm able to practice this virtue of toleration and forgiveness, I can still save half of my time and do something that is more meaningful in my life rather than wasting my time. So it helps us focus on our goal. If I know my goal, I should be able to focus, provided I have time, and the goal are same. So it's different. While I'm studying, I'm feeling happy. While I'm writing the exam, I'm feeling happy. While I'm getting the result, I'm feeling happy. What that result is, it's okay. If we have, it is whatever we have worked, it will be proportionate to that. We cannot change it. But the point is, we are not suffering while preparing, and we are not enjoying while seeing the result, or repenting while seeing the result. The point is happiness all the time. So if we are on the right path, we will enjoy the long drive, we will enjoy the scenery, the beauty, and when we reach the place, then also we will enjoy. So this is what the bhakti process means, which leads to permanent or ever happiness. So how do we do it? I mean, this sounds all so sweet, right? Life is so good, so simple. Don't worry about big things, worry about small things, and you are all happy. So how do we do that? So we have to practice. Nothing comes without endeavor. Of course, we need somebody's mercy, somebody's sanction, but at the same time, you have to do some practice. Now, what that practice is, we can always talk about it, but you have to do some practice. Shastra, which means scriptures, the books that are given to us, which gives us knowledge. So if you have a mentor, if you have a teacher, and if you have a book, then you can ask that person that teach me this. This is the right book, you are the right person, please teach me, right? And then that's how we learn or inculcate knowledge. The third very important aspect is association. I cannot do it all by myself. The teacher is not going to be there all the time with me. And then he'll say, now I teach you this, go back and study on your own, come back tomorrow. If I get a doubt at that point in time, who should I discuss with? With my peer. So let's be very careful and cautious before taking steps. And let's ask ourselves some questions, who we are, and let's establish our relationship with the Lord. We look at some tools like the books, the guru, and how we have to practice it. So that will help. And then, of course, if you practice after getting that knowledge, if you practice those things, it will really make a difference in your life.